My parents gave me a horrible name that is passed down from generation to generation, but it is ruining my life, so I plan on changing it when I turn 18. My dad's name is Bert. My grandfather is Bertram. My great-grandfather is Bertrand. And the naming convention repeats ad infinitum. All sons in the family get the same name or a twist on the same name. My brother is Robert, my uncle is Bart. Those who deviate like these examples have got poop for it, but nothing too serious. This tradition has lasted for at least a couple of centuries. At least my brother has a normal name that isn't too uncommon, like Bert. My name? Bertamo. I could go on and on, paragraph after paragraph, about why I hate my name. I always have. You cannot imagine the bullying and name-calling I've got in my life. I'm 17. So, now I'll be 18. When that happens, I will change my name to something completely unrelated. I expressed as much to my parents, and I guess it got through the grapevine to the rest of my paternal family, and no one is happy. My dad is indifferent but upset. I don't like the name he gave me, but my grandfather is apparently so upset I'll be written out of his will. I don't know what a career fisherman will leave me in his will, but I think I'll be okay. I like some traditions going back dozens of generations. It's this specific tradition that is stupid. If it was something like a pendant passed down to first sons or something like that, then fine, but I have to live with my name on display, 24/7, for my whole life. But then again, this is the only family tradition we have. My brother is married and is already brainstorming Bert names. Would I be the a-hole for changing my name? Update: whenever a new son is born, they consult a document/family tree to see if the name is already in use by a living relative but only going linearly up. I can't have the same name as any living father, grandfather, great-grandfather, etc., or any of their children, but I can share the same name as my uncle's children because it's not going directly upwards in the family tree. I have over 20 Bert cousins or children of cousins to explain how widespread it is, and they do have records going back to at least the 1780s. Before that, we were unsure because no one had kept physical evidence. The first one was a Bertram, but the story allegedly goes that it was an offshoot of Bert, and the real root name is Bert. Every single son in my father's lineage is named in this convention. At a time in the early 1900s, there were a few Bertha/Berta to start a new female tradition, but it never took off. My family justifies it by being a common denominator by which we can all connect. I'm close to relatives who diverted from our family in the late 1800s. I'm close to my family who have lived abroad for generations. We all connect by this name, so it probably works. My family's huge on family, if it's not apparent. Fuyu, it's Bertamo. My mother is Italian. On my father's side, it's Mutville, I don't know. Our earliest recorded ancestors were from Germany, but there's a large portion from the Netherlands and many from Newfoundland, Canada, which was English at one point. Our family is large, with parts in Scandinavia, Germany, the Netherlands, Switzerland, France, etc. Update 8 months later. I turned 18 in May, coinciding with finishing high school the next month. I wanted to get my name changed before I began college because it would be a headache to change it in their systems. My parents had other plans and wanted to take me on a trip. The trip was half so my mother could go to Italy to visit some of her family, and my dad took me to Germany and the Netherlands to see some of his family. In the 3 weeks we were gone, I got to meet literally hundreds of my family members, most of them Bert or some other. The purpose of this trip was to change my mind. And you know what? I had a great time. It was reflective and introspective as I met some other Berts my age and listened to their thoughts on their name. Many men and boys my age or around my age struggle with the name because even in Germany/NL, the name isn't common. And some of them do change their names. I met a family who did just that, and some said they regretted it. I even met Bert Bay, who proudly wears his name on his shoulder. The most common sentiment was that it's a commonality between family members and should be protected. Something that stood out to me was that if you were to meet a Bert anywhere in the world, chances are pretty good they would belong to our family. There were stories of Berts meeting as strangers and leaving as friends and family. Everyone believed this was the most important part, as it meant that all you had to look for was a name to know your family. I'll be honest and say it got to me. So much so that I decided to keep my name. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, truthfully. Many posts in the previous thread said my name was beautiful and unique, making me think it's worth holding on to. And after starting college last month, I say my name with pride. I've already made a few connections just because my name is so out there. I stand out, which is a bad thing in high school but a good thing in college.